Hello. Good day. I'm just here walking around my house. Recently, I have been doing some prayer walks with God, just kind of switching it up a little bit, and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll go walking, and sometimes at night when I want to connect through a prayer walk, I will just simply walk around my house. And I'll be honest with you, it has really invigorated and refreshed my time with God. And I'm enjoying the newness of these prayer walks. You know, there was another person in the Bible who also enjoyed prayer walks with God. His name is Enoch. And Enoch is a very significant character in the Bible, but not too much was said about him. He's first mentioned in Genesis chapter 5, and he could easily come across that he was only casually mentioned, because Genesis chapter 5 talks about the descendants of Adam. And so Enoch is mentioned in chapter 5, verse 21, and it reads, Enoch lived 65 years. He begot Methuselah. After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had sons and daughters. Verse 23 says, so all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch in verse 24 says, and Enoch walked with God. And he was not, for God took him. So what we can gather from these verses is that Enoch was the great grandson of Adam. He also was, in chapter 5, it also goes on to say that he was the father of the oldest living human being in the world, Methuselah. And he also was, if you read further down in chapter 5, he also was the great-grandson of Noah. And it would seem that the people he was connected to and surrounded with made more of an impact. Adam being the first man, his son Methuselah being the oldest in the history of the world. He lived 969 years. And then Noah, I mean, come on. Everybody knows about Noah and his ark. What makes Enoch so special? Why do we need to contemplate his life and the little we know of it? It's very simple. Because Enoch walked with God. That is the essence of life. That is the real meaning of life, to walk with God. Now, Enoch didn't just walk with God the way I was showing you that I prayer walk in the evenings or outside in the mornings. Enoch took God with him wherever he went. And he walked with God wherever he was. And because of that, as a result of that, God took Enoch. That's right. He took him. He gave him a free pass, direct pass into heaven without having to taste death. He took him as an example of what will happen when he comes again to get his faithful followers that have walked with him too. Paul mentions Enoch out of the blue in his infamous Hall of Faith chapter in Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11:5 mentions Enoch. And he says, by faith Enoch was taken away so that he did not see death, and was not found because God had taken him. For before he was taken, he had this testimony that he pleased God. He had a testimony. Other version says he was commended as one who pleased God. In other words, he not only walked with God, but others saw that he walked with God. And him walking with God was a testimony to others. You know, we still don't know so much about Enoch. But out of all the characters in the Bible, I would want to be known as one who walked with God. What about you?